Bienvenidos a todos, bienvenidos a todos, buenos días. En nombre de Adoprosoft, es un gran placer presentar al ponente de hoy, Ben Grieser. Él es arquitecto de soluciones para socios en MariaDB Corporation. Ben es un profesional en software de base de datos que trabaja estrechamente con socios tecnológicos y clientes de MariaDB. Su experiencia abarca gestión de datos, aprendizaje automático y computación en la nube. Para más contexto, MariaDB Corporation es un proveedor líder de soluciones de base de datos empresariales, entregando tecnología de base de datos potentes y escalables para las empresas. Entonces, queremos darle las gracias a todos los que dedicaron tiempo para acompañarnos hoy y un agradecimiento especial a Ben por participar en este webinar. Eh, para que sepan, el webinar será en inglés. Entonces, vamos a darle la bienvenida y la introducción en inglés y empezar con el webinar. So, welcome everybody. Welcome everyone. Good morning. On behalf of AdoProsoft, it's a great pleasure to introduce today's speaker, Ben Grieser, Partner Solutions Architect at MariaDB Corporation. Ben is a database software professional who works closely with technology partners and MariaDB customers. His experience and expertise spans from data management, machine learning, and cloud computing. MariaDB Corporation is a leading provider of enterprise database solutions, delivering powerful and scalable database technology for businesses. So thank you to everyone who took time to join us today, and special thanks to Ben for participating in this webinar. Without further ado, please join me in a virtual round of applause as we welcome Ben Grieser for Discover MariaDB, Power and Performance for Your Data.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you, Ariel. Hello, folks. Thank you for having me to discuss MariaDB today. I have a presentation, and let's see, allow me just to share my screen here. So today we're talking about the power and performance that MariaDB can deliver for your applications and what we're delivering for our customers around the world. So just to start off, a little bit about MariaDB. MariaDB we're a global organization. You may know that we were founded in Finland by the same team that founded MySQL. When they left MySQL, when they went to found MariaDB, the design goals, the overarching goals were to make sure that it was open source and available, and also that it was performant and flexible. We've achieved those goals, and we have lots of customers around the world, customers with businesses large and small, with quite a variety of different workloads. And we're happy to be able to help our customers bring their applications to their customers and to make the world a better place overall. So MariaDB Enterprise Platform is, and I will talk about what's involved with Enterprise Platform, but um, it's a platform that we build on top of Community. The Community version is easily available. It's great for testing, for demonstrations. And then on top of that, with the Enterprise Platform, what you get is you get an enterprise grade database backend that includes the high availability, the disaster recovery that our enterprise customers need. And as a part of that, also with the platform, you get our support. Our support engineers are very experienced. Some of them have been with MariaDB since the very beginning, and they're very good at making sure that our customers are able to continue, that our customers are up and running and able to serve their customers. With the enterprise support, you also get engineering support as well, meaning that our support engineers, they have a direct line to the server engineering teams and the max scale engineering teams and the operator engineering teams, so that when it comes to adding features, or if there should be bugs that should be found, then those go directly to the right teams, and we can make sure that those are solved in the product. Our enterprise platform also has a longer lifespan. The community version is meant to be for testing, for experimental purposes, and so it has a shorter lifespan, 1 to 3 years. For the enterprise platform, we realize that our enterprise customers want the stability of a longer lifespan, and so enterprise has an 8-year lifespan. We also add additional QA and additional performance features to the enterprise platform for the kind of performance that our enterprise customers need. You may be familiar with MariaDB already. It's packaged by default with most major Linux distributions. And we are certified on most major Linux distributions, and we also have folks that run on others as well. You'll also notice that we have some very, very recognizable customers. Of course, these are just a few of the customers, and these are just a few of the ones who are public references. But we have some truly enterprise grade customers, which are offering some truly enterprise grade applications. ServiceNow, for instance, runs tens of thousands of instances of MariaDB. DBS, that's the Development Bank of Singapore. They're I think probably the largest bank in the region, and they're also a large customer who made the choice to migrate from Oracle to MariaDB. And we'll talk more about that success story later on, as well as other large customers, which you'll no doubt notice and recognize. So, as mentioned, we have the enterprise platform. The enterprise platform is designed to be enterprise grade, and it's designed to be complete. And the enterprise server, of course, is always open source. The enterprise platform includes some very notable features, some very notable components. The server core is really, as you might expect, it's the core of the whole platform. Our enterprise server is very flexible. We actually built that on a pluggable architecture, meaning that there are several storage engines available. The pluggable storage engines means that the MariaDB server can adapt to handle a variety of different workloads. That includes things such as the InnoDB storage engine for a traditional transactional platform, but also our column storage engine for analytical use cases. And we have some customers who have deployed analytics on very large data sets. We also have financial customers who use the analytics for very fast analytic queries. We also have a variety of other storage engines, such as RocksDB for very high write workloads, or for instance, Spider, which is our storage engine for horizontal sharding, for those kinds of use cases that can get the extra benefit, use the extra benefit from the horizontal sharding, and others as well. On top of the enterprise server core, we have MariaDB Max Scale. That's our database proxy. And we'll certainly talk more about that, and I'll be able to show you some of what Max Scale can do. But Max Scale is just a fantastic piece of software. It is a database proxy, meaning that it sits in front of the database nodes or the database cluster. And it provides a lot of benefit, including high availability. MaxScale provides the automatic failover so that if the primary database node should go down, it will automatically promote one of the replicas to be the new primary, and it'll automatically reestablish replication between the new primary and the remaining replicas. There's also a variety of other features that Max Scale can provide. And
Ma-
we could certainly go.
Integration, ok. De eso que está hablando. Bien.
Mhm. And so then on top of that, we have our connectors.
Ah, ya llegó.
Mhm. So you may know that with MariaDB, you can also use a variety of other connectors. We also write our own set of connectors, which gives us well, of course, the flexibility, the access to the code base. So when there are issues, then we can fix those with the connectors. And we also are able to then build in additional features, such as multi-host connection, especially for JDBC and some of these others, meaning that you can put multiple host IP addresses into the connector, and that gives you redundancy at the connector level as well. Besides that, we also have a variety of other features and capabilities built into MariaDB or available with MariaDB. The NoSQL protocol, for instance, meaning that with MaxScale, you can use that to connect to an application which is written for a NoSQL platform, such as MongoDB. That doesn't make it a full NoSQL database, but it means that we can handle some NoSQL workload together with a transactional workload. We also have Docker images, which we publish. And then on top of that, we have our Kubernetes operator in order to be able to work with the Docker containers in a Kubernetes environment and get all the benefit that you can imagine from a Kubernetes environment as well. So MariaDB provides a lot of benefits. It is a full database solution, meaning that it can handle the variety of workloads, and it also provides the stability and reliability and performance that our enterprise customers have come to know and expect. We, besides all of the great benefits that are built into MariaDB Enterprise, we're also really ramping up our engineering efforts and adding more functions and more capabilities. And we've already added several of these this year, starting with MariaDB version 11.4, which we released the enterprise version in January of this year, and we'll soon be releasing enterprise version 11.8. We've built in additional capabilities, and we've improved several of the capabilities that were already built in. That includes things such as our vector search to handle AI workloads. And that's something that, even since this slide was created, we've added additional capabilities. And I expect to see a lot of development on that in the near future as well. Also, advanced security. Not only have we added additional security measures available, but we also have improved some of the security measures that were already there. And then we have others which we expect to be on the roadmap coming up shortly as well. We've also added performance improvements, and also we've added additional QA testing. This is something that's built into MaxScale, and it's something that folks have asked for a long time, and we're very glad that we can offer that. It's the workload capture and replay, meaning that you can capture a workload for a defined period of time, whether that's a few hours or a few days, and then replay that on other servers to test changes that you might want to make to configuration or hardware changes as well. So we're very excited about being able to offer that. So a very important core part of the platform is MaxScale. That's our database proxy. That provides a lot of benefits. At the highest, the conceptual level, it means that MaxScale is really the only IP address that your application needs to know, meaning that your application does not need to know the database nodes underneath. And that provides a lot of benefits, meaning that if, say, for instance, the primary database node goes down, then you don't have to change anything in your application. You just need to change it in MaxScale. And we'll see a little bit of that coming up. And similar for maintenance. So if you want to do rolling maintenance on your database nodes, you can do that without ever having to disconnect your application or stop your application. It means that you can have your application up 24/7 and be able to serve your customers without any downtime. We also offer Galera together with the enterprise platform. Some of you may be familiar with Galera. That's a synchronous write replication, meaning that whenever something is written to one of the database nodes, Galera internally makes sure that it's propagated to all of the database nodes before it will commit. That means that you get the additional guarantee of knowing that the data has already been propagated to the other database nodes. We see this a lot in especially things like financial applications. Our banking customers are often very concerned about making sure that the data is always replicated and always available, and Galera provides that. MariaDB has always been allied very closely with Galera for many years, but we actually recently acquired the company that creates Galera called Codership. And now Codership, we're very happy to say, is part of the team, and that is already accelerating development both within Galera and within MariaDB as well. And I expect a lot of great developments to come out of that in the near future as well. So as mentioned, one of the things that we added recently is vector search. And this is something that we've been working on for quite a while. So it was very good to be able to offer that generally available starting in January of this year. And even with it just being added, we're already winning awards for the AI capabilities that we have in the enterprise platform. As we're testing the MariaDB vector search, we are already finding that it stacks up very well against some of the other vector databases that are out there. MariaDB, of course, was built for performance from the very start. So it's good to see that that also applies to our vector capabilities as well. I think one of the biggest use cases we're seeing so far for vector search is retrieval augmented generation. This provides a lot of benefits. One of the big ones is that it means that you can run AI workloads without having to release your data to the general internet or to one of the large language models. It means that you can run these vector workloads on data that you keep on premise in your own database. The way this works is that you use an encoder or a vectorizer to create the vectors for the documents, and you load those into MariaDB, and MariaDB creates the vector indexes for those in order to be able to do very fast nearest neighbor searches on the vectors. And then that enables the LLMs to then answer questions, answer queries on the data which is stored within MariaDB. Once again, that provides you additional security and privacy, but it also means that you can control the scope of what the AI workload will consider when it's creating the answer. Something that we see a lot, and for those that know both MySQL and MariaDB, you won't be surprised, is that when you go to ask large language models, ask chatbots about MariaDB, because they're looking at all of the information on the open internet, often it'll get the answer correct, but sometimes, or even frequently, it will mistake MariaDB for MySQL. So it might give answers that are more about how MySQL does it than as opposed to how MariaDB does it. I've even seen the same thing where it confused MariaDB with Oracle and gave me answers that were applicable to Oracle, but not to MariaDB. With retrieval augmented generation, it means that you can control that scope and provide better answers based on the data that you control. We also recently released our Kubernetes operator. This is another project that has been in the works for a while, so very good to see it come to fruition. The enterprise operator provides all of the benefits of an operator, as you can expect. It's also certified on OpenShift. That was a design decision from the very beginning. to start with OpenShift. That means that it works on plain vanilla Kubernetes, and it also works on OpenShift as well. And you can find us listed in the OpenShift ecosystem catalog. We also, with the enterprise version of the operator, we provide additional benefits, including some additional support and security benefits as well. Something that we see a lot is migrations from Oracle to MariaDB. That it's something that we see a lot of demand for, and it's something that we've done for a while, for several years now, but also something that we're putting more energy behind right now. We have a well-established methodology to accomplish the migrations, and we also have some technological capabilities that help make that transition easier. That includes SQL mode. That means that with MariaDB, you can set the SQL mode to Oracle. We've actually built an Oracle parser into MariaDB. And so with the SQL mode set to Oracle, it means that MariaDB can understand the Oracle syntax, the Oracle SQL dialect. And so it means that you can run Oracle stored procedures on MariaDB without even having to translate them. That's something that provides a lot of benefit for Oracle migrations, and it's something that we also have for other types of databases, although some of the other parsers are less developed than the Oracle parser, but that includes things such as, for SQL Server as well. Of course, there's a lot of benefits. Anyone who's dealt with Oracle knows the benefits of dealing with somebody else, including costs. MariaDB can be much more cost effective than Oracle. We, over the course of our history, we've had some very high level successes, and definitely happy to discuss those. A lot of those are migrations from community to enterprise. A lot of them are also migrations from other databases over to MariaDB. DBS is one of those examples, and I mentioned them a little bit earlier. DBS had a very large Oracle deployment with literally hundreds of applications deployed on Oracle. They made the decision to move to MariaDB, and we've been able to help them move. It's an ongoing process, as you can imagine, with hundreds of applications to move. But we've already been able to help them realize very significant savings over Oracle. Samsung is another very large public reference for us. And we actually, Samsung actually uses MariaDB in a couple of different areas, including a very large deployment, which helps Samsung phones connect to the Samsung cloud through MariaDB. ServiceNow is another very large customer, and especially for on-premise deployments of ServiceNow, we see lots of customers trust MariaDB for that, including lots of public sector and financial sector customers as well. So with that, I wanted to talk a little bit about about some of the things that MariaDB can do, especially together with MaxScale. What I did is I set up a small cluster, 3 MariaDB servers with MaxScale in front. MariaDB is very easy to deploy. So I actually did that this morning. It took me about 30 minutes to deploy 3 clusters or 3 database nodes in a cluster with replication between them and with MaxScale in front. So let's see. I'm just running a light workload to MariaDB.
Ben, if you're sharing, we're not seeing anything.
Oh, okay. Thank you. My apologies. Can you see
Yes.
see the
Yeah,
terminal?
we're up now.
Okay, great. So I have 3 database nodes here that I set up, and as mentioned, there's just a light workload which is running to those. It's just very simple, just some simple inserts. And then I have MaxScale running on another VM. MaxScale is very flexible and very powerful. So here you can see it from the command line. And from the command line, we have max control, which is our command line client. And there are there's a lot of things that you can do from the command line with max control, such as taking a look at the servers, or say, for instance, if you wanted to get a lot more information about the servers, you can see that MaxScale provides the kind of information that, say, for instance, if you wanted to feed these into other processes, into other pipelines, to for monitoring or other purposes, you can output this information from MaxScale. And there's also a REST API provided with MaxScale. Actually, Max Control, which I just showed you, and Max GUI, which I'll show you here in a moment, they're actually built on the MaxScale REST API. So if you wanted to access and control MaxScale from APIs instead, that's available and very possible. So what we see here is we have the MaxScale GUI, and this is something that we continue to improve. But as you can see, it's a very nice, very comprehensive GUI already. The team, as I mentioned, that produces MaxScale is it's just a fantastic team that they keep adding great new features and keep improving the features that are available. And so MaxScale is refreshing the GUI on a 5-second basis, but it's actually checking the database nodes much faster. You can see, of course, that we have one of our database nodes is running as the master. But say, for instance, we wanted to do some rolling maintenance. If we wanted to do some maintenance on server 1, MaxScale makes it very easy to do a switchover. So what we can do is simply switch over to one of the other database nodes. And so then you can see that MaxScale has switched and has made server 2 the master. And then it automatically reestablished replication between server 2 and the other 2 servers. So that provides the capability, the flexibility to make sure that the database is always available for your applications. Then, of course, there's the question of what if something should happen? What if something should go wrong? Let's say, for instance, maybe somebody wants to accidentally or maybe very rudely stops one of the database nodes, which of course that one having been the master, now we can see that MaxScale has noticed that it's down, and then MaxScale automatically chose one of the replicas to be the new master. And so now server 1 is the master. And of course, I'll let this run just a little bit, but you can see as that workload continues, server 2 is getting behind, but no worries. So let's say whatever happened to server 2 has been fixed, and let's say we've brought it back online, and then we go back and we see that MaxScale saw that it was fixed and that it was up and running, and it brought it back into the cluster and reestablished replication, and then server 2 was able to catch up, to start from where it was at and then catch up to the rest. And now it's back and it's part of the cluster again. There's, as I mentioned, a lot of other capabilities within MaxScale. One of the great things is that it makes it very easy to manage. So from the GUI, if I wanted to add more servers, for instance, I could do that from here. And I can also add other objects, whether that's additional services such as additional routers or filters, which will control and affect the workload passing through, or additional listeners as well. There's a lot of functionality that MaxScale can perform, including things such as rewriting queries on the fly, so that, say, for instance, the application is sending queries to a database, but you need those queries to go to a database with a different name. You can actually use MaxScale to rewrite those queries on the fly. So then when MaxScale sends the queries to the database, it's with the changed name. And then when it sends the data back, it sends it back with the name that the application is expecting. There's also additional ways that you can take a look at your topology, at the architecture. There is also an IDE which is built into MaxScale. So let's say that I want to connect. Oops, I think I've used the wrong password. And so then this connects me to the cluster, meaning that even from here, I don't need to know which which database node is the master. It'll automatically connect me to the master, whichever one happens to be, and I can execute queries from here. And of course, obviously, that was very simple. But there's a variety of other. You could do anything that you would do from the command line here, or if you want to look at them in a more um, uh, visual way, you can check out the all of the data structures. Um, and say, for instance, you wanted to query some of these. You can take a look at the tables and the columns. There's, of course, additional configurations, setups, and capabilities built into max scale. And as mentioned, these are capabilities that we continue to add and that we continue to improve. So that's about it. That's what I had prepared to share. I figured, with leaving an additional 15 minutes for Q&A, and with that, I'll turn it over to you folks for Q&A.
There's a question real quick in the chat, Ben, that Ariel posted real quick. So there's a bunch of questions there.
Okay.
Y
Great.
mientras, while you're reading that, I'll just kind of reintroduce. But si hay preguntas, si prefieren en español, por favor, adelante. Obviamente pueden ponerlo en el chat también. Cualquier dudas, preguntas, cómo trabajar con nosotros, etcétera. Estamos disponibles, Ariel, cualquier cosa. Obviamente, si hay preguntas que vienen después, nos pueden contactar como siempre y desde cualquier cosa estamos disponibles.
So, Ariel, I see your question in the chat, and I think that you've touched on something that we're hearing from a lot of our customers, which is that everyone is seeing a lot of value in AI, and they are building AI into their applications and into their platforms. And one of the big questions is about how to work with both AI and traditional SQL in the same database, because there are other databases out there for specifically for vectors, but they want to be able to work with those together with their transactional data. I think that a lot of what we see with how customers are using vector search so far involves things like the retrieval augmented generation, meaning that they want to be able to ask questions which are based on information that they're storing rather than information that's part of what the large language models already have, that is already built into their platforms. This is information that maybe companies want to keep on-premise for security purposes, or perhaps they want to be able to control what the large language model is formulating their answer based upon. In addition, I think that we'll see a lot more capabilities for vector search coming out. It's early days for these, but from from AI and ML that I've studied in the past, I think we'll see a variety of other nearest neighbor type questions, type workloads, which I think will provide a lot of value for our customers. So, any other
Oh,
questions? Oh,
¿hay otras preguntas, comentarios, dudas, etcétera? Por favor, adelante si quieren o no, si quieren ponerlo en escrito sobre correo y mandarlos a Ariel, como quieren.
cool. Gracias, Carlos.
Pues no sé si Ariel todavía está, no lo
Yeah.
veo.
Since we have some time, let me ask, how many folks are using MariaDB currently, perhaps the community edition, and how many folks see some value in our enterprise platform? Okay, well,
Ok, ok.
we're
eh, ok, hace sentido. Pues
understandable.
déjame, voy a poner los correos en el chat. Nuestros correos, puse nuestros correos en el chat, o si hay preguntas, dudas, etcétera, yo puedo asegurar de la parte de ventas o clarificaciones de técnicas, etcétera. eh, em, podemos ir contestando, obviamente, después de esta sesión y estamos a sus órdenes. Y Ariel, si personas quieren, obviamente, contactarnos, sabes, tienes de todos los correos de Melissa, Ellen, Ben, yo, cualquier persona, estamos disponible y obviamente queremos apoyar el esfuerzo en la República Dominicana y con cualquier tipo de apoyo que podemos ofrecer. Pues
Excellent.
de nuestra parte, si no hay otra cosa, gracias por el tiempo y gracias a Adoprosoft para organizar esta sesión y estamos aquí a sus órdenes para cualquier cosa y desde aquí adelante.
Gracias a todos.
Hasta luego. Buen día a todos.
Thank you very much.
De nada.